Well, hello YouTubers, Vader here. This video is going to be of me putting some new horns in. I know I talked about the horn project over and over, and was kind of waiting to come up with something, if you will. Well, I kind of finally come up with something. I bought these. They're 116 decibel, and they're two-tone, and they are pretty goddamn loud. They're going to fit on the bike perfectly, as you'll see in the other video, on this video I should say. But this is dual horns on the Majesty. They fit in a perfect spot. This wiring here is just a kind of a temporary wiring. I had to wire them up kind of in series so I could hear them both blast off. They sound really good, as you'll hear when I get her all hooked up. But I finally found a horn. These are only $14 for the pair. Now, I bought them off eBay. They're made by Seger, 12 volt. This is 510 hertz, and this one is 410 hertz. 60. They're 1 watt basically, which is actually a lot of power. So these they're a total 116 decibels what they are each one. So they're pretty goddamn loud. They're going to be pretty sweet. So anyway, so I was going to kind of show what I'm going to do. I don't think I've ever seen a video on how to take the windscreen off. Basically, you have this cowl piece here, and I was explaining to a buddy of mine, Dan, this is kind of how it comes off. There's 2 screws, one here and one over here, and they're an Allen screw, and this actually just kind of sits up in there, and there's little plastic posts and a body panel stub on there that fits in here and in here, and that's what secures it. But once you got this off, and this is nothing to it, actually you use a when you take this off, you use up here, which would be right in here. I use a putty knife to lift it up and kind of pry this part out, and then kind of help it along and draw it out, pops it out from this, and then it just kind of sits in a little spot here, a little groove right here, and it just kind of pulls itself free. It's easy to do. When you're pulling the windscreen off, these are plastic screws. They're there for a purpose. They're breakaway screws, if you will. There's 3 of them. I already pulled 2. I always leave the center one. It's easier to work on. I'm getting ready to pull the other 3 off, and which is right here. And then there's a panel behind here. This panel right here. This panel here, it just lifts off, and that's where the guts are. That's under your hood, basically, if you will. So I'm going to get these off, and I just want to instruct how to take the windscreen off. And when you tighten these back up, I'll go over that. It's like a feel thing. They're plastic again, and they have a brass. I'll show you when I get it all apart. I'll pull one of these out and show what they look like. But you have to be meticulous, and you should keep these in stock. They do break. It's just, you know, the wind pressure and stuff like that kind of snaps them periodically. So anyways, that's where I'm at right now, getting ready to take the windscreen off and the hood cover. And as soon as I get the hood cover off, which is again this panel here, that's my GPS antenna for my satellite receiver. But then I'll show you under the hood and kind of do a go by a step-by-step, if I can, in regards to putting my new horns on. So anyways, I'll be back after I get the windscreen off. So Vader out for now. Okay guys, basically what I've done here, real quick, because I've already done all the preliminary. This is the relay for the horn. I've already done this because I had an air horn hooked to it. I've made a ground bus earlier. What that means is I took a wire, hooked it to ground, and used it as a tie point. Instead of trying to take everything on here. I don't like that because then they work themselves loose. The other thing was I got a hot wire, from the battery, feeds the relay. The horn switch is on here on the relay for ignition, for igniting the relay when I push it down. And this is the extended wires to feed the horn, and they go down inside here, straight down into the tire well, and if you can see down in there, they run down there in the tire well, and then they end up right here. And I'm going to raise the lift so you get a better shot, but anyways, this is where they go. For right now, I have to terminate them and all that good stuff and such, and install the horns, and I'll show all that next. So I just want to show what I've done so far in regards to the wiring. Again, you have to feed a line. A hot line goes to the battery because it draws 18 amps. The air horn actually drew 30 amps, but it draws 18 amps, and obviously your switch can't handle that. And then you got the switch wires for the horn switch, which is right here, and that will not handle that kind of current, so you have to use a relay. But anyways, this is the relay. I just got it covered and all that good stuff. And everybody, I'm sure, knows you got to use a relay to feed these things. So anyways, that's the scoop so far. This is under the hood. Dan, if you see this video, this is under the hood. I have some of these relays marked: horn headlight, fan, which is the radiator fan, fuel injection relay, and these are some oddball ones like turn signal and things like that. The book explains a lot of that, but anyways, this is back when I was into the figuring this damn thing out with the fuel pump. So anyways, that's fuel ignition, which is, it's got injector, and it also feeds voltage to the fuel pump. So anyways, this is under the hood. Pretty simple on how it goes together. It comes apart, nothing to it. You can change the turn signal lights, these two screws here. With the thing up, you can reach underneath. I'll show you that. You can reach underneath, change the bulbs. I know they're a little bit of a trick, but when it's up in the air, it's easy. But and I know some don't have that luxury, but anyways, so I'm going to raise the lift up, get this up so I can see it at eyeball length, and go from there. So we'll be back. Next part is the wiring and mounting of the horns. Vader out. Okay, YouTubers, Vader's back. Alright, I'm just going to show you. I've already got one mounted and basically wired. I got to, obviously clean the wiring up and such. But anyways, I got it mounted. It's going to sit right in here, absolutely perfectly. And there's like a hollow spot down in there, like a little well. But anyways, she's going to sit like this. And I'm going to turn it actually a little bit more. I want to turn this towards me a little bit more, towards downward. But anyways, this is it mounted, and it's looking at the road, if you will. The wiring, I've already wired it, and I got to finish running. These wires back here, is I got to tie the other horn in place. So those will get ran. I'm going to run them up there. Run these wires up there, get it past the fork in the tree here, get it up past there, and bring it down to the other horn. And then that's when I got to do all the tying together. But basically, this one's mounted, and she ain't going anywhere. It's an awesome spot. So there'll be a second one over there, and I'll show you when that gets done. So This is Vader out for now. Okay, Vader back. Now, I have got officially both of them mounted and wired. I still have yet to finish this wiring here, neatening this wire up here, the wiring up here. But she is mounted and in place. That one is mounted and in place. And you know, wired. I ran the wiring up in there, got it up out of the way. A little bit of a routing nightmare, but ended up getting it anyways. This here I got to tidy up yet and finish this wiring here, but she's basically hooked up. Now what I want to do is put the keys on, turn this thing, fire this thing up, and yeah, hang on a second. I'm recording. That's how they sound. Work like a champ. So anyways, that's the, sorry about the yelling in there. That's the horn mounting, and it's all done, and reroute the wiring, clean that up, and good to go. So that's it for there. That's the horn project, if you will, and hope everybody enjoys it. I'll talk to you later. Okay, horn project's done. I got them mounted. The wiring's all nice and cleaned up, and everything looks really good. They're out of the way. Hunky-dory. I was going to show you real quick the deal with the windscreen screws for Majesty owners. There's these plastic screws right here, and they screw into a grommet with a brass insert in it, and that grommet goes into these holes, basically just like that. It just punches in there. That's all they do. I just kind of check them periodically, make sure they're sitting in there like they're supposed to, and you know, that they're up to snuff. The panel here, it just kind of goes up in between here and snaps in, kind of, sorta. That's about it for that. I'm going to put the windscreen back on, and I'll get a couple screws in, and I'll show you what I mean about tightening them. So I'll be back after I get the windscreen back on. So Vader's out for now. Okay, I've got the screws back on, the plastic screws, and all I do with them basically is you kind of get the, well, so much for that. Sorry about that, guys. You kind of get the feel before you drop screwdrivers on how tight. And I kind of do a back and forth routine here. And you just kind of feel when they start to snug up. And when they do, you move on to the next one. And then I kind of go around. Because you got to remember, you got a big mechanical screwdriver here and a plastic screw. Well, who's going to win? So you just kind of, you know, a couple fingers on the screwdriver, you get to feel a little bit of what you want to do. And I do the same thing on the other side. kind of, that's about it. So, you know, you kind of, that's how she fits. Now I'm going to put this cowling piece on. See if I can do this one-handed here. I know everybody's tries to learn the art of doing stuff one-handed in this videoing thing, but it shouldn't be too bad doing this, because it kind of fits itself. What I'm going for here is basically to get this thing to go up inside here and align itself, and then just align it to, it gets to these. It's going to turn me into a little bit of a liar here, I see. It's already tried to favor one of the sides, and it can't do that yet. But anyways, I'm going for trying to press this thing up in there just like that. And as you see, it's going to sit right in that, pop in that one there, and it just pops in that one there. And that's pretty much it. Got a little gasket here, but the nose end just kind of falls in place. Once you get it, it's not too bad. It just kind of falls into place, if you will. All right, I got to put my satellite antenna back on, and on the cowling there. Now, it just takes a couple of these. They're a hex head screw with, you know, basically a coarse thread hex head screw. And I don't know why I put it away when I knew I would need it, but I did. I just got to figure where I put it. Right here. It is a, just so you know, it's a 4mm Allen head. It is a metric, and it's a 4mm Allen head. And you just line it up to the hole up there, and I always start it by hand for the simple reason that's plastic. The whole thing is plastic wear, so you don't want to, you know, putting wrenches and stuff on them I think are not the way to go on this stuff. I could tighten it pretty good with my hand. And that's really all I am doing. And she's back together. Putting the hood on is, again, it's not really that big a deal. So anyways, I'm going to go button this thing up, take it down. I want to take her for a real quick ride, make sure that everything's okay and happy, and that's basically the horn project that I've been waiting for the last 3 months on getting real horns on this damn thing. So the horns work great. Everybody heard them. Again, they're pretty damn loud. I'll turn it on and hit it one more time. That's the horns. And these things are 16 decibel. Pretty dang loud, supposedly. So, anyways, that's the horn project on the Majesty, and more projects to come. So, appreciate everybody watching, and comments are welcome. And ride safe out there. Vader out.